Today, on another edition of Baby Gun Daddy Gun, I have my little baby Beretta 380, which is a model 85BB. This was a police trade-in. You saw this in one of my very recent videos. And then I also have my 92FS. Both of these I purchased used. The 92FS, even though it said it was used when I bought it, looked unfired. It had a brand new magazine with no marks from ammo on it. Original receipt in the box, all the paperwork, the cleaning kit and everything. So I'm convinced that was never actually fired. I put those Pachmayr grips on it because I like wooden grips. And I put the Beretta wooden grips on this guy, so they look very similar. So once again, circling back to my baby gun, daddy gun videos, this is my Beretta model 85BB in 380 ACP. The magazines hold 8 rounds of 380 ACP. This functions very much like a 92FS. It has the same single action or single double action trigger and hammer. This one does not have a magazine disconnect. I believe the 85FS does have a magazine disconnect. This one does not have a decocker. The FS has a decocker built into it. This one is only a manual safety. It does not decock it. However, you can drop the hammer to halfway and it will be safe to carry with a live round in the chamber. I carry this gun a lot. I love this gun. I've been waiting for one for quite a few years. And then of course the daddy gun is the Beretta 92FS in 9mm Parabellum. And again, one of my favorite guns. Probably the sweetest shooting 9mm I have. The Beretta 85 is probably the sweetest shooting 380 I have, and that's pretty easy because the only other 380 I have right now is the P238. And while that's a very good gun, it's not on the same level as the 85. I actually have them both here, so you can see a size difference between the two. This is the 238, this is the 85. Quite a bit smaller, and they are empty, so quite a bit smaller on the 238 than the 85BB. I will say this is probably the sweetest shooting 380 I've ever shot. A mid-size 380 is the best of everything. It's just heavy enough that there's zero recoil. It's just small enough that it's still comfortable to carry, but again, the 85 only has a single stack magazine. You can get the model 84 Cheetah, which has a double stack magazine, holds 10 rounds. I just happen to like the 85 better. They're a little bit harder to find. The magazines are a lot harder to find. Expect to pay between $35 and $50 per magazine. I happened to find a bunch of them from a guy in California that was selling them for about $35 a piece. So I have several magazines for this now. I think I'm up to 5, and it's always good to have more magazines. I talked about that in one of my previous videos. Alright, so in keeping with my series, I'm going to start out with the baby gun first. Beretta model 85 Cheetah in 380 ACP. I have 2 targets set up. I'm going to shoot the left one with the 380, the right one with the 9mm, and let's see how I do. I've only shot this once. The sights are pretty good on it. They have white dots. They're a little dirty, but I am pretty good with this, so I'll see how it compares between the 380 and the 9mm. Some dirt on the slide. That is very acceptable results. I'm going to shoot one more mag and then I'll zoom out so you can see what my results are. In keeping with Beretta's excellence, let's see what those targets look like. So again, left target is the 85, and all of my shots are in the black. This is about at 21, 22 feet, something like that, so it's a little bit more than you typically have with self-defense, but again, if somebody's charging towards you and you need to fire at them 7 or 10 yards away, that's pretty good for me. I probably have 5 shots in the center of the 10 ring, and then another 2 in the next ring out, 4 in the next ring out from that, and then the last few shots are just outside the 8 ring and the 7 ring. So pretty acceptable results for me. I'm going to switch over to the Beretta 9mm, the 92FS, and I'll do the same thing. Alright, so now I'm on to the 92FS, and I'm just shooting some 115 grain round nose. These magazines are actually military surplus checkmate special capacity magazines. I've never shot them in this yet. I got these very cheap. I think some of them I paid about $10 for. A couple of the other ones I think I spent about, I don't know, 30 bucks for 3 of them or 30 bucks for 2 of them. So between $15 and $20 a piece, these magazines you can usually get because they're mil-serp and everybody thinks they're crap. The thing with the checkmates is they have like kind of a dull finish on them. I think it's Parkerized, but I'm not sure. When they grease these, they used really crappy grease, and because they were made in the 1980s and 1990s, a lot of them, the grease is really hardened up. So if you take these apart, you clean them out, put a little oil in there, clean all that old grease out. Let's see how they work, because everybody says the checkmate magazines are terrible. So let's find out. I don't think they are. Whoops. Oh, gotta turn my safety off. Let's go single action first here. So there you go. There was a whole magazine out of one of these crummy, cheap checkmate mil-spec ones. Works perfectly fine. And again, some people say the M9 mags don't work in an M92 or a 92FS. Work perfectly fine in mine. So let's do another mag. And there you go, another 10 rounds flawlessly shot out of a cheap military magazine. All I did with those was take the springs out, take the base plate out, take the follower out, clean all the grease out, oil them, and put them back together, and they function flawlessly. So don't listen to what everybody says, try it for yourself. Most of the time this stuff doesn't work because it was never cleaned and stored well. Let's take a look at my target from the 92. I believe all my shots were on the target again. I could go count them, but I'm pretty sure they're all on the target, so let's look at it. All right, so that right target there, that was the 92FS, and like I said, I could go count the rounds, but I'm fairly certain all of my rounds are in the black. Maybe 2 of them were right on the very edge of the target. And again, that's pretty typical with my accuracy. I'm not an Olympic shooter by any means. I like to have fun. I try to be proficient with my guns. And again, for me, that's good enough accuracy. That's an 8-inch target at 21 feet. And all my rounds are in the target. If you're thinking about a torso of a person, that's basically between their neck and their stomach. All of those rounds would have hit vital areas. So that's pretty good for me. I'm going to go ahead, reset my targets one more time, take some shots on camera so you can see where my aim is, and we'll come back here in a minute. Alright, so just like my last baby gun, daddy gun video, I'm going to do the first magazine, kind of trying to bench rest and see if I can get better accuracy on the target. Second one I'll stand and do offhand. So again, Beretta model 85 Cheetah and 380 left target. Let's see what I can do. Alright, so that's the first magazine. Not horrible. Again, I'm shooting kind of fast, and I'm not really taking my time to aim that great. I'm just trying to get them on target. So I'm going to stand now and see how I do again. A little better, that time standing. Just like with the P238, I seem to do a little bit better standing shooting than I do sitting. So let's do the same thing with the 92FS. First magazine sitting down, trying to see if I can get more accuracy out of it. Second magazine, I will shoot standing up. I know exactly why I don't get as accurate when I'm sitting down shooting these. Because when I'm resting my elbow on a bench, all of the recoil, the blowback is driving the muzzle of the gun up. When I'm standing up, I'm holding the grip a lot more firmly and I'm pushing down a lot more. So that was a pretty good group. One shot was low. All the rest of them are within probably 4 inches of each other. Let's see if I can do any better standing up. Ironically, I'm shooting low. I'm shooting low when I'm standing up, and I'm shooting a little bit high when I'm sitting down. I know the height when I'm sitting down comes from me allowing the gun to flip back a little bit because I'm resting my elbow on a bench instead of gripping it tighter. And probably gripping it so tight makes me drive them a little bit lower when I'm shooting. So that group wasn't quite as good. I had a few of them off the target below it. Most of them are on the paper. I probably missed it 3 or 4 times. Still not horrible. Again, we're talking about a 10-inch spread on that versus an 8-inch spread. So in this particular case, as you can imagine, a smaller gun with less recoil and a smaller round, I'm a little bit more accurate on. Thanks for watching another edition of Baby Gun with the Beretta 85BB Cheetah versus the 92FS, which is the daddy gun. Thanks for watching Cranky Gun Reviews. God bless America. You have a great weekend. Remember to support your two-way rights and just keep shooting. Have some fun. Be safe.